Hey folks, it is Saturday, November 4th I think it is, and I'm out on Project 124, my 2020 Road Glide. I am headed towards Fort Worth the back way. I just turned off FM4 onto FM 2331 I think it is, and this will come out on 1187, not far from Burleson. Kind of head back into my old neighborhood. I used to live in the Crowley-Burleson area before me and Des moved to Bluffdale. But typically on Saturdays I'm usually riding south of where I live, hitting some good back roads and stuff. But this weekend I'm on my way to town. I actually want to check out pricing and availability on a new Lowrider S. Kind of interested in that bike, so I figured I would drive up here and see what kind of pricing they offer. As we all know, when you're dealing with Harley dealerships, they hate giving pricing over the phone. They want you to come in and, you know, because I guess their thought is you're going to want it so bad you can't leave without it. Well, I don't have that problem. I got other bikes, but I am interested in the pricing on this thing to see what kind of deal they're interested in giving me. Not that I'm necessarily looking to buy, but I really do like that bike. Pulling into Godly now, by the way. But my vision for a Lowrider S would be to buy it. You know, they come with a 117, which is nice, but I'd like to do the biggest big bore kit you can, which I think now is like around a 131 or 132 maybe. I can't even remember. But that would be kind of my goal with that, to buy something and go absolutely batshit crazy with it. I mean, this bike that I'm on now has had some pretty good performance work done to it, and I'm real happy with it. But all that said, it is a touring bike, so I didn't want to get it so close to the edge that we having breakdowns or, you know, potential issues. You know, this has got the Fuel Moto 124 kit in it, no head work, Cyclerama 480 cam. It's making about 122 horsepower, 139 foot-pounds of torque, so it's definitely pretty stout for a touring package. Really enjoy it. I've only put, you know, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it since I did the work, so I'm still really enjoying it. But for the Lowrider S, that would be, you know, a stripped down soft tail. I'd like to do head work on it, more aggressive cam, convert it over to a chain drive, increase the throttle body up to like a 64 or whatever, and just really see what you can do. I mean, when you're doing something like that, you're probably looking at like 150 horsepower, 150 foot-pounds of torque, which is huge, you know, for any type of, you know, push rod driven V-twin. So anyway, with that said, headed towards Burleson. Gonna stop by Stampede Harley. I looked on their website and they had a black one there, which I'm really not interested in. Black bikes are just too much work to keep up. I was interested in a white one, but we'll see what kind of deal they got on it. On top of that, I was going to eat at Hard 8 Barbecue in Burleson, which is literally across the sidewalk or across the street from Stampede Harley Davidson. That's where me and Donnie and Des used to rendezvous every Sunday when we were looking for our house down here. We would meet Donnie. He would ride down from Springtown, and we would just meet there and then kind of ride all over south of town looking at houses and stuff. So a lot of good memories of that place. Plus I'm super hungry and barbecue's always good. Time for brisket. But anyway, headed that way. I'm gonna see what kind of pricing is available on bikes, and I'll report back with what I found and then talk to you then. See ya. Bye. Alright, Burleson. Hadn't been here in a minute. Just turned off 1187 onto 35W South. Now busting a U-turn. Get back on 35 and then Hard 8 and Stampede are both right here. Alright, food and motorcycles. So if we could just buy guns and ammo on this block, would be all set. There's Stampede. Slow crowd today. Everybody's probably at Galveston at the Lone Star Rally. I think that's going on this weekend. Plus a lot of college football games being November. All right, bikes. How about right here? This looks pretty good. All right, let's go eat. So we are now leaving Stampede Harley Davidson. Stopped in here, met a salesman named Chuck, pretty cool dude. They did not have a white Lowrider ST. They had black, and they had, or excuse me, a Lowrider S. All right, guy, I'm behind you there, dude. But anyway, they did not have a Lowrider S in white. They only had one in black, which I'm not really interested in. I would prefer to have white. I've had a black bike before, and it's just too much maintenance to keep it clean. So we are headed over to Longhorn Harley in Bedford. So we'll jump on 35W north and then jump on 20. I think it's about 18 miles over there. Yes, I didn't really negotiate on price because, like I said, I'm not interested in the black. They did have some pretty cool bikes in there. They had 3 of the new CVOs. They had 2 road glides and 1 street glide, or excuse me, yeah, street glide. So or ultra, whatever they're calling the Batwing CVO. So that was all pretty cool. Enjoyed seeing those. First time I've seen them in person. They look really good. The thing that stood out to me is the bags are a lot rounder than I expected. You know, I knew they, at the back, they were cut off on the bottom, kind of like some of the Stunners do, so they can wheelie and not drag the angle or the point of the bag. So on the CVOs, they have that. But what I didn't realize is how rounded they are. If you look at the side of the bag, it's kind of rounded from the front to the back. It's not straight like the current bags are, so that was interesting to see. Really like the new screen. The thing is huge. It's got a Rockford Fosgate system, which this bike does too after I put it in, but now they're coming from the factory with that and an amplifier, so hopefully you can hear the stereo over 65 miles an hour on the highway. That was a problem with the stock stereo. You couldn't hear it any speed over 65 or 70 miles an hour, so, which is garbage as much as these bikes cost. But anyway, looked pretty good in person. That was cool to see. They had your standard stuff. Like I said, they had a black ST, a black S, and then they had the, what is it, the Fast Johnny, the blue and white paint scheme on the ST. So all that looked pretty good. But I'm on the hunt for a white lowrider and trying to find out what the cost for that is. So lowrider S, like I said, headed over to Longhorn to see what those, you know, they showed they have one in stock on their website, so hopefully it's not lying. And yeah, I guess I'll check back in after we get over there. Good day to be goofing off and looking at motorcycles anyway, and of course riding. So talk to you later. Bye. All right, we're getting close to Longhorn. Actually, you can see it right over there. We just passed 360 on I-20, so I got to get way over. But anyway, hopefully we'll have better luck in there. Their website shows they got a white Lowrider S. So we'll go see if that's the case and see what kind of deal they're willing to give us on it. Rode over here from Stampede. Like I mentioned earlier, they just had a black one. They didn't have a white one, so didn't really talk price there. We'll see what these guys have to say. I've actually, my 05 Softail, affectionately known as Ethel, actually came from Longhorn Harley Davidson. Bought it new in 05. Actually, I think it may have been September of 06. Or excuse me, September of 04. But anyway, it was a 05 model. But that was back when Longhorn was in their previous building before they built this new brick and mortar boutique, as I like to call it. But I've had good luck with them in the past, so we'll see what they say today. Their dealership's kind of cool. I actually bought 2 bikes from them. I forgot about that. My 05 Softail and my 2012 Road King, the bike I had previous to this Road Glide that I traded in. I bought it from Longhorn, put about 50,000 or so miles on it before I traded it in. It was a really good bike. I like that bike. No issues with it whatsoever. I had put an Andrews 57 cam in it, or cams, being a twin cam, and it was pretty peppy. Made like 92 horsepower, I think, something like that, but pretty good for a 103. Anyway, just got in heat to do something different. Never had a road glide or a bike with a fairing on it, so I wanted to try that, and that's how I ended up with this. And I have not looked back on that decision. This thing's great. I just wish I had more time to ride it. I've only got about 11,000 miles on it so far. But anyway, regardless, out looking at new bikes again, fixing to pull into Longhorn. And oh, there it is right there. I'm about to drive right by it. Too busy talking and not paying attention. Imagine that. So anyway, we'll go in here and see what they got going on. A lot of bikes outside today. Again, I'm sure there's probably a ton of people at the Lone Star Rally, which is in Galveston this weekend. So my guess is that's where a lot of folks are. But anyway, pull up here in the bike parking. And we'll walk inside and see what's up. Later. Well, strikeout number 2 on the Lowrider ST. They did have a black one, just like Stampede had. They also had a white one, but they had already done a bunch of modifications to it. They had put the Roxford Fosgate stereo on it. They had a set of T-bars or risers, whatever brand they are, I'm not sure. And it already had an exhaust on it and a tune, so obviously not interested in any of that because I do my own work and like starting with a clean sheet of paper. So haven't really talked pricing with anybody yet. I did sit on the both the ST and the S in there, and they both felt really good. I mean, obviously it's the same bike, with the difference being the fairing versus the S having just a little, you know, light nacelle or whatever you want to call it. And they both really look good. I really like those bikes. Probably shouldn't have came and looked at them because it's definitely making me itch. But anyway, all good. I think I'm going to head over to Fort Worth Harley Davidson now and see what they have. Also, let's see, no, we're gonna go straight here. But I think first I'm gonna stop by a Fuel Bar, grab an adult beverage or two, watch a little football, see if any of my old Fort Worth buddies are in there. We'll see. But anyway, just really killing time. Like I said, Bama LSU's tonight at 7. It's currently 3, so figure I'll hang around Fort Worth for another. Man, look at this guy. It's a good way to get rammed up the ass. I digress. But anyway, spend a few more hours in Fort Worth dicking around, head home, get the Bama LSU game on, watch that, and maybe have some more adult beverages at the house, TBD. But anyway, rolling through, I guess, what is this, technically Bedford right here. So trying to get on 360, go up to 30, head over to Fuel, have a couple of beverages there, and then hit Fort Worth on the way home. Maybe third time will be a charm, because their website does show they have a white Lowrider S, so that's what I'm looking for, and we'll see if they actually have one or not. See if we can get on here. All right, there we go. Up to speed and on 360 north, so be on 30 in a few minutes and pick it back up at Fuel. All right, change of plans. I said I was getting on 30 and going to Fuel Bar, but I forgot that Texas Harley Davidson was just up the road. Don't know if they got a lowrider in stock, but we'll pop in and see. Texas Harley's on at 183 in Central Drive. I just exited onto Central, or trying to. I'm on the, I guess, the off ramp or off road. 183 is a typical cluster as usual, so glad I'm missing that for the time being. But anyway, We'll jump through the stoplight down here and should be at Texas Harley in just a second. Actually, I think I can go in the back door here if everybody's turning right. We'll keep going that way and won't have to sit through the light. That would be nice. There we go. There it is. Well, of course, it turns green right when I'm going through. Anyway, yeah, we'll jump over here, see what, if anything, they got for sale that we can't live without, and I guess go from there. So cool. Hadn't been in here in a while. When we were living in town, we used to come over here and do bike nights on Thursday or Friday, whenever it was, and that was pretty fun because it was about, I don't know, maybe 20-25 miles over here from where we lived in the Crowley-Burleson area. But now it's more like 100 or so miles. So, you know, still fun, but it's got to be something pretty good for me to get off my ass and drive 100 miles for. But anyway, a few bikes out, a few cars in the parking lot, so we'll pop in, see what's going on, and more importantly, see if we can find a lowrider. Texas Harley-Davidson, we did have some luck here. They had a white lowrider in stock. So just got through talking to Dustin about that. He's one of the sales guys here. I believe he said he was actually one of the sales managers. Okay, so we're blocked off here. Let's go this way. Oops, didn't realize there was no way down. No, let's go this way. All right. Act like you work here, right? Yay, handicap ramp. We'll see if we could use that for our purposes. Yep, cool. Okay. Yeah, anyway, talked to Dustin. He met me at the door. Real nice guy. That was cool. They had, like I said, the white lowrider in stock. It was basically stock with no add-ons. They did have the traction control on it, which I'm not really a fan of, but I can take it or leave it. It's something I could cut off. That's like a $200 option, so it's not like a, you know, game changer or anything. It's just more electronics I'd rather not have to deal with. I have those disabled on my KTM and my Ducati, so I'm pretty sure I don't need it on the Lowrider S. Anyway, that being said, he ran a bill of sale on it, came back, I think he was like 25.3 or something like that is what it was. It's just slightly over 25 grand. Well, I ran my numbers before I got here based on the Harley website. You know, what I thought it should cost was just right at 23. That's with the base bike with none of the options on it. So you throw that traction control on it, that would bring it up to like 23.2 or something like that. You know, disclaimer, I told Dustin before we ran the numbers, hey, I'm not buying today. I'm just really wanting to get a good idea on what something like this would cost, because it's one thing to look on the Harley website, it's something else when you're sitting across from somebody giving you a real price. I mean, you know, the stuff on the website's only half the story, right? So anyway, I told him, I showed him the numbers I had because I had taken a picture of it on my phone, my little spreadsheet, told him where I thought we should be, and you know, that I was looking for it to be closer to 23, because if you run the numbers on a Lowrider S, 23 is totally where it should be from a MSRP perspective. This guy's tailgate me right now. Situation normal for Dallas Fort Worth, but anyway, so I told him 23 is what I was, you know, that was kind of my target price point. That's what I was looking at, and he essentially said he thought he could get me pretty close to that. And I told him, I said, well, I appreciate it, but you know, like I said, I don't want to waste your time today because I'm not, you know, definitely not buying, but I want to think about it. And so he was good with that. So we exchanged information. So I will think about it and get back to him. I think 23 is a good price on that. I don't think you're going to get it any cheaper anywhere else. If I get super serious, I may go by Fort Worth and see what they'll, you know, what type of deal they would offer. But all these guys know what's going on. So quite honestly, you're probably going to be within, you know, less than $1,000 or less than 500 of each other, because everybody knows everybody shops around. But anyway, I thought, you know, like I said, the first price, Dustin said, hey, this is the first price without negotiating. So, I always get that. There's always got to start from somewhere. But anyway, I didn't think 23 was too bad. That's what I expected. I mean, I didn't have that guarantee in writing, but verbally pretty much said we could get there. So I appreciated his time. I mean, it was like, I walked in after I started talking to him. It was less than literally less than a 10-minute process, probably closer to, 8 minutes or something like that. So that was awesome. I don't like wasting people's time, and I don't want my time wasted. So very appreciative of that. Anyway, all that said, so after that slight little detour, after getting the price, it's time for an adult beverage. So headed over to Fuel Bar. Unfortunately, I got to get on 183 here to 121 to do it, and it's always a cluster up here. So we'll jump in the race here, and we'll see you at Fuel. Just exited off 183, going to the Fuel Bar. Used to be one of our hangouts when we lived in town. We'd ride up here, drink a beer all the time. New apartments over there now. When we lived here, those weren't there, so I think they're trying to gentrify this area of town down around Sylvania and Ray Street. This is Belknap we're fixing to turn on, and the bar's right here, so all right. Couple of folks here, that's cool. Let's have a beer. All right, well, just got through having a couple of adult beverages here at Fuel Biker Bar, and time to head on home. Bama LSU, 5:45, got an hour before the game starts, so that's a good thing. Oh, nice, green light, yellow light, close enough. Man, dang old sun is definitely blinding this time of day. But sorry, kind of focusing there. Yeah, headed back home. Should be fun. Get there right time for kickoff. Been a good day so far. Went out, had barbecue, went to 3 different Harley places, found one bike, one white lowrider S that I was looking for, and got a price on that, so that's kind of cool. Got something to think about for a few days. But yeah, all good. Beautiful fall day here, man. Sun's been out all day. It's been in the 70s. May have to put my jacket on before we get home, but still warm now since the sun hasn't gone down yet. Man, this intersection is jacked. 121 coming back into 35, it's always a friggin' nightmare because everybody changing lanes here, trying to figure out where they're going. All right, let's go, dude. Whoever designed this should have his design license taken away. Seriously. Anyway, fixing to be on 30, headed over to 377, and then a straight shot home. So, all good. Good times today. Hey folks, on the way home, about 26, crossing Lake Granbury. They've been doing construction on 377, so I've been coming home this way just to avoid the southern section of 377 to Granbury. Pontoon boat out there at sunset. Yeah, it's a nice little community here. We're about 15 miles south of here, but Granbury's nice. A lot of houses on the lakes, a lot of stuff to do around the lake. But figured I would carry you through here because we're fixing to be at the square, which is where several restaurants, bars, family fun and stuff like that. So I got caught here at the red light, but yeah, the square's right up here. It's the old courthouse square, like most little towns in Texas have. And we'll blast through there here in a minute. Not sure if they got anything going on this weekend. Last weekend they had their big Halloween shindig. They had live music and a couple other things. Me and Des came up here to eat, so it was cool. I wasn't expecting it to be that crowded, but it was. No biggie. But I like Granbury. It's pretty fun. Other than the traffic I got to drive through every day on the way home from work. It's the only thing I don't like. But that's anywhere. Or everywhere. But yes, we'll come back across the lake here in a minute. Or not across, but adjacent to the lake. I think there's a little cove that comes in over here. Yeah, there we go. A little burger joint or whatever this is. Hot wings now. I think it used to be burgers. But yeah, here's the lake. Hotel on the lake right there. Pretty nice. And then the square's just right up here through another red light. I think there's a bunch of antique stores and stuff down here if you're into that. I'm not. Bad hole right there. Yeah, you can see some of that stuff. But yeah, it's just fun. There's several places to eat, several places to drink. They don't really, I don't know, I wouldn't really consider any of it dive bars. It's more popular stuff. A lot of youthful participation, if you will. I forget I'm old sometimes, but it's still a fun little town. Usually if we come up here, if the square is full, I'll park right there at the visitor center. There's usually parking there. This brew, drinkery and bistro is pretty good. We've had pizza there and beers before. This is the filling station here on the right. And of course the square, as we come up here to the stop sign, you can see the old courthouse. Highly populous area. Got the Opera House over here. 1890 Bar and Grill. That's one of mine and Dez's favorites. We've eaten there a couple of times right here with the black awning. It's pretty good. High quality steaks. Got a bunch of good drinks and wine. Silver Saddle Saloon's down there in the center of the square. That's also pretty cool. We like that. Alright, go ahead, dude. And then further down here is Fuzzy's Taco on the left, Babe's Chicken on the right. Both good places to eat, as you can tell by the crowd. And then right behind this old Sinclair station, right, kind of hard to see, Bob's Bar and Grill. That's pretty fun. They usually have live music every weekend. It's kind of a younger crowd, but there's a bunch of us old gray people mixed in with it too sometimes. So anyway, that's pretty much it. We're going to come out here on 377, essentially bypassing town and headed to Bluffdale. So that concludes our tour of Granbury. Thanks for riding along. Just pulling back into the hood, just blew through Bluffdale. Now turning on our road up here. 6:47. I meant to be home at 6:45, but 6:47 will work. Alabama and LSU getting ready to kick off, so that's kind of must-see TV for me. Actually thought about going to the game this weekend, but got work travel next week and had a bunch going on this week, so I decided to just stay here. Had a bunch of work to do around the house yesterday. But anyway, yeah, glad to be home, I guess. Always fun to be riding, but fun to be home too. And anyway, yeah, getting ready to watch some football, maybe have a drink. Been a good day today, man. The weather was absolutely beautiful. This is my driveway, by the way, if you hadn't ever been here before. It's 12 degrees, a mix of gravel and asphalt, mostly gravel. Needs to be repaved, but it's a challenge. It's a lot less than one on the KTM, but on this 1,000-pound road glide, it's not much fun. Anyway, back here at Frank's Holler. Been a great day. Thanks for riding along. I think I'm going to go in here, watch football, sleep on the road, or not the road glide, but the Lowrider S, and see if we end up wanting one. Anyway, thanks for riding along, folks. Later.